hear that? That's not just a Toyota truck. That's the sound of no crowds, no alerts, no distractions, and no telling what you'll find next. You know, like a detour. So why would you ever take a tour when you could take a detour? Toyota trucks.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
I'm sorry. Let me say this again. Excuse me. Live stream. You heard something that won't be in the episode.
Sup, nerds? It's basketball. Welcome to Horse, a basketball podcast about everything except for the wins and losses. My name is Mike. Sorry, let me take it from the top. Sup, nerds? It's basketball. Welcome to Horse, a basketball podcast about everything except for the wins and losses. My name is Mike Schubert, and I'm joined by my trusted co-host, the anyone playing against the Spurs shooting a shot to Victor Wembanyama saying, "Not today, sir." It's Adam Amwala. Adam, how's it going?
The year is 2031. The 8'5", 275-pound Victor Wembanyama is now spending all of his off-court time exclusively at Shaolin temples.
Yeah, look, his offseason of hanging with monks and really trying to dive deep and expand his game seems to have worked. He already, I believe I saw some stats shared by Kirk Goldsberry today saying that like in the first 3 games, he was the first rookie to ever do this thing where it was like score 100 points, get 15 blocks, and have X amount of rebounds. I think for number of dunks, he is top 10 in the league for teams. If he was a team, he would be in the top 10 of dunks. And then similarly for blocks, I think he would be in the top 10 of teams for blocks. But he's a player. He's a single human.
I think we're already at the point with Wemby where like the only question mark that looms over his career is health. If he is healthy or even mostly healthy for the next 10, 15, 20 years, there's no world in which he's not one of the greatest players who's ever played.
Totally. And I think an underrated point, Blake Griffin made this point on Zach Lowe's podcast, is that what really sets him apart, or he's either Blake Griffin or Steve Nash, one of the two. They said that like Wemby's underrated skill is his drive. Like this guy just cares so much. There's
not his drive isn't driving the lane.
No. His like mental, internal, he just cares so much. And he also has a little petty in him. There was a reporting that apparently what fueled Victor Wembanyama's offseason of really trying to get better was the fact that Chet Holmgren, other big, tall, young player in the NBA, won a title and he's jealous. So like, he's self-motivated. He's put material on the bulletin board, on the mirror in the bathroom, motivated. You gotta love it.
I mean, both Chet and Wemby are essentially like, give me Kevin Durant, but somehow make him taller. None of it makes sense because even seeing what Kevin Durant has done throughout his career, handling the ball and just like playing like a guard at essentially 7 feet tall, never really made sense. But
sure,
yeah. And then someone just sent me a video of some kid who's like, I want to say like 14 or 15 and already 7'5" and so like
I've seen
almost at a point
game.
where I'm like, is he okay? Like it seems unusual.
Yeah, similar to Kevin Durant, Wemby also doesn't want to talk about his height too much. It's this famous thing where Kevin Durant always has said he's like 6'9" or 6'10", even though he's definitely 7 feet tall. And Wemby similarly, they were like, oh wow, you know, you're 7'5", you're listed as 7'5" now. People think you might be taller, and he's like, there's more interesting things you can say about me. You know, my eyes are down here, I guess. I also love the chat right now. We have 2 folks in the chat, and it's just Spurs fans. We've got Ginger Spurs Boy and Salvatore Testa.
Hey, if you're a Spurs fan, wherever you are, and you've been laying low for a while. Now is your time to come out of the woodwork and enjoy.
Yeah.
Next
You had such such a hard time in the previous dynasty. You had to take a 5-year break of being amazing.
It honestly
now you're
is
back.
To make an early American football reference. Sad noise.
Whoa, sad noise.
It makes me feel like how the Packers just go from one generational quarterback to the next with no break in between. Where I'm like, you can't just have Aaron Rodgers be amazing and then all of a sudden your next guy is great immediately. Like that's not fair. I've never had a good quarterback to watch in my life. And the Spurs now have gone from this incredible dynasty, first with Robinson and Duncan, and then kind of the later generations of Duncan and Manu Ginobili and all that. Like Spurs fans have had it pretty good.
They have had it quite good. Shout out to them. But let's get ready to talk about other basketball related things where we will be preparing for this. Is the Teal Memorial Locker Room. Always generational talent in terms of offerings of this locker room.
Yeah, and I've heard it's actually
always an eternal
a
dynasty.
Custom Fiesta locker room right now.
Oh, I wish. We'll get into the Spurs courts, which I have ranked very low.
We have
very
bones
low
to pick. Very
yes,
long, Wemby-esque bones.
Yes, but you know whose bones we are not trying to pick?
We're never trying to pick our patrons' bones. We wouldn't do that.
No, we wouldn't pick our patrons' bones. Shout out to our patrons. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to our producer level patrons, 2 of which are in the chat on the live stream right now.
Snap.
And reminder, all of our patrons can be watching these live streamed episodes and getting access to them early. We're recording this one on October 28th. It's not getting posted until a week from now. So you can hear our thoughts so much earlier. But shout out to our producer level patrons, Polly Burge, Salvatore Testa, Siobhan Ellsbury, Don't Go Chasing Taco Falls, Bang, Bang, Roast Beef Debris, Denver Steam Nuggets, Anna Reed, Steph Curry is Unk.
Bang. And I don't know if you saw that. He referred to himself and some of the other elder statesmen as Unk, which is, of course, Gen Z for like anyone over the age of, 25.
Yes.
But just saying that, the young guys are going to need to step it up when us Unks are sitting a game out. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
I've realized that to certain folks, I have become Unk because I met someone who was 23, and when I said I was 33, he was like, "Whoa, I didn't know you were that old. You look way young," which is like partially a compliment for sure, but then partially it's like, "You're washed, dude."
Yeah, it's a compliment insult.
There you are. There you are.
2-1.
Yeah.
But anyway, bang!
Chase Underulo, Naked Rachel, Sidney Crosby is a vampire, Chelsea's cousin, Ginger Spurs boy, Balls to the Walls, Mats Furley, and Utah Jash. And you know who is giving us some bones?
I would say our sponsor, Shaker and Spoon.
Shaker and Spoon, indeed. If you want to celebrate things going well for your basketball team or you want to drown your sorrows, you can go to shakerandspoon.com/horse. You can get $20 off a box, and that will be the box that helps you make a bunch of different cocktails. You can make 4 servings of 3 different drinks. All you got to do is supply the booze. They give you everything else, the recipe cards. You can make these drinks forever and ever. Keep that knowledge, have their little reference, but you can have it for a party, for a small get-together. If you just want to be fancy with you, your roommates, your significant other, whatever, go to shakerandspoon.com/horse and get hooked up.
There you go. Make it basketball themed. Make it Shake Milton and Teresa Witherspoon.
Whoa, that's fun. That
I don't know where
could
I
be a
pulled
fun-
Shake Milton out of.
Man, is he still? He was a Knick for like a week,
I
and
remember
I was
being
like,
on the
"This
Sixers.
is cool."
That's like my only memory.
Yes, he had a good backup run on the Sixers, and then he was on the Knicks for a minute, and then of course he didn't ever see the court because of Tom Thibodeau. But now, unless you're listening on Patreon, where you get access to ad-free episodes, or the stream where you get access to us not inserting ads, we're gonna take a little break for some inserted ads. But if you're listening on one of these Patreon methods, we're just gonna move it right along.
You hear that? That's not just a Toyota truck. That's the sound of no crowds, no alerts, no distractions, and no telling what you'll find next. You know, like a detour. So why would you ever take a tour when you could take a detour? Toyota trucks.
Everyone wants to be stronger, not just physically, but in every part of life. But between confusing workout advice, complicated equipment, and trying to figure out nutrition, where does anyone even start? Well, to get stronger mentally and physically, go to Anytime Fitness. You'll get a personalized training, nutrition, and recovery plan, all customized to your body, your strength level, and your goals. You'll get expert coaching to optimize your results, anytime, anywhere. in the gym, and on the Anytime Fitness app. And you'll get anytime access to 5,500 gyms worldwide, all with the right equipment to level up your strength gains and your life. So get started at AnytimeFitness.com. That's AnytimeFitness.com.
Adam, what do you got going on?
All right, not a whole lot of updates for this year, but if you're listening to it the day that it comes out, it's not too late. If you're in the Toronto area, I will be at the Comedy Bar tonight. That's Tuesday, November 4th, headlining a show in the smaller room there, so I'm hoping to pack that out. So I will be in Toronto on the 4th. Then on the 7th of November, I will be with Dane Cook in Rockford, Illinois. On the 8th, I will be with him in Gary, Indiana. And then after that, I've got my big New York City show that is on Thursday, December 11th at the West Side Comedy Club. And then that is pretty much it for the year. I added one bigger thing next year. So this is a ways away, but if you're in Chicago, I will be back headlining Zany Chicago on the 21st of April. And then I'm also...
Is that because of opening day?
It's not.
Whoa,
reasonable that you would expect that, but it is not in this case. No, it's because I have a little corporate gig there the following night, so I was already going to be in the area. And then I'll be at Mic Drop Comedy in Chandler, Arizona on Saturday, April 25th. And I'm working on a San Diego date for Sunday, April 26th. But that's what I've got for now. What about you?
Ooh. I will say, I like that you're going to so many named after dudes places. Gary, Indiana, Chandler, Arizona, and San Diego, California.
Yes. I was always under the misapprehension that it was meant a whale's vagina.
Yes, that's Anchorman,
I
yeah?
believe so, yes.
Nice, great, cool. Yes. So
Saint
anyway,
Diego.
I got...
Yes.
St. James in Spanish, but I got a couple of things going on. I now officially you can get tickets to the show that I'm doing in Los Angeles, California for the News Olympian on December 2nd, which is very exciting. It's at the Crow, which is a venue that you got me in touch with, and I performed there last time I was in LA. And then I've got things more and more locked in. Ticket sales are not live, at least at the time of doing this stream, but maybe soon. The Australia dates are becoming solidified for my Australia-New Zealand tour. So Sydney, January 3rd, Perth, January 10th, Melbourne, January 17th, and Brisbane, January 24th. Perth might be on the 11th, but that weekend is looking promising. And then I'm going to try to add up to 3 New Zealand shows where I'm going to be doing Auckland, Wellington, and the potential is Christchurch, but got to still figure that out. I'm trying to plan Australia first and then New Zealand second. But tickets to all that will be live on thenewsolympia.com or my personal website, Shubes, schub.es. But yeah, that's what I've got going on.
Very cool.
Do we have any NB Q&As?
Yeah, actually, since he's here, I'm going to share a question that Ginger Spurs Boy sent our way. It was kind of half a question, half a suggestion, but I thought it was fun. This was after our last live stream. Ginger Spurs Boy says, watching that stream, I had the thought of, what if y'all did a Patreon bonus episode where you came up with an unofficial slogan for each team? So this pertained to the whole heat culture thing.
Yeah,
I feel like if
fun.
we did this either for an actual episode or a Patreon episode, we would need to kind of do like one real one and then one joke one.
Sure. Yeah. I also think is it something that we think would be cool, or is it something that team branding would do? Because they are always cheesy and not that cool. Like, no disrespect to the Bulls, but see red is right in that wheelhouse of, oh yeah, because Bulls see red. Like, it's always the get it because our team.
And it also is one of those things that, like, when they don't space out the words enough, it just looks like someone misspelled seared.
Yeah.
What is the Knicks official slogan like?
At least for the past couple of years, they've done New York Forever, which is really good. Like, that's just a solid one. They usually put that on the free T-shirts that they do at T-shirt tosses or that they give you for going to a playoff game where they put a shirt on every seat. So New York Forever is good because I think it's like a thing that people actually say. But then there's one, and we'll get into it, because a lot of these NBA Cup courts have whatever the little hashtag slogan is on it. Some of them are fun, like the Hornets is "The Hive is Alive." That's fun. Sure. That's good. But then the Pistons one is like, we play for the city. And it's like, I don't know if anyone in Michigan is saying that. Like, oh, why do you love the Pistons? Oh, because they play for the city.
Yeah.
So I think we should do like one we think would actually be cool, and then one that we think the branding department would actually consider.
Yeah, but it's a good idea.
It is a good idea. It's very fun. Cool. Well, as mentioned, we will be doing all of the stuff with the NBA Cup courts for the end of this episode. And it's very visual. So the stream people can see it, and that's helpful. The stream people watching it after the fact, because the replays also get posted on Patreon. You can watch it there. But before we get into that, a lot of people are very excited because a new scandal has emerged in the NBA. Unsurprisingly, is about gambling.
Yeah.
But man, the Clippers got to be breathing a big sigh of relief because sponsorship, we've got bad things happening in the league.
It's amazing how quickly we already have to reassess our drama draft. And also, before we move on, a huge shout out to Melissa Sisson, who actually did it and made a drama draft spreadsheet, color-coded nonetheless, red for Bulls and blue for Knicks for you. So we do officially have a spreadsheet. Melissa, if you are listening, if you're listening or sissoning, there are updates, because I had the Trailblazers in my draft low on the list, never knowing what could happen. You had the Heat, so obviously that's a positive point for you. And the real winners in all of this are the Clippers, because no one's talking about them right now.
Yeah, you would think the investigation would still be ongoing, but like, are they going to have to pull the lawyers off the Clippers case onto this, or will they have to get more lawyers involved?
I don't know.
But yeah, what a home run swing with Blazers. This was like me last year, where I just happened to pick Mavs towards the bottom, and then huzzah. So look, that's why you draft the whole way through, because you never know. But yeah, I also got to give a shout out to Sal in the chat putting "you bet" after we said there's a new scandal. Pretty good, pretty good. So yeah, for anyone unaware of what is going on, there have been new developments in the Terry Rozier gambling scandal, which it was brought up, and then it was this thing of like, oh, he got, I don't know, officially acquitted, or if it just like seemed like there wasn't anything there. Like they looked into it, but then there was like nothing to be found. But then earlier last week, there was a report about how Terry Rozier and coach of the Blazers, Chauncey Billups, are both involved in gambling situations, not only just people betting on them and stuff like that, but similar to the Jonte Porter situation for Rozier, he was doing things where he was telling people, I'm going to leave a game early because of injuries, and then people bet the unders. And then there's some clips of past games where he wasn't making smart decisions. You can never really tell for those, but the FBI did a legitimate investigation where like he legitimately told people, I am going to leave this game early, bet the under. So that's just like cut and dry guilty. And then Chauncey Billups's big crime with regards to the NBA is that he was revealing tanking decisions and injury reports before they became public. So there's all this reporting about you have to say when people are injured at certain times before games, let the media know when people are sitting. This helps with fantasy sports. This helps with the gambling stuff and all kind of stuff like that. But he had been relaying this information to people ahead of time in regards to like sitting key players, and then people could bet the under on their point spread or bet on the Blazers to lose, et cetera, et cetera. Really bad look. I think Chauncey is out of the league for sure.
Well, and he also was involved in like a fairly organized illegal poker ring. Like that was kind of the initial thing. Was like, it was weird because the news kind of came out at the same time, and it was like the Terry Rozier stuff is clearly basketball related. And at the time, for like a brief moment, it seemed like the Chauncey Billups stuff was bad, but not as NBA related. And then it was like, oh no, he's also doing this as well. So, I it's hard to imagine Billups not being, if not officially banned from the league, like not ever going to be hired again. And I just don't. Terry Rozier is a good enough player that this is really dumb. For someone like a Jonte Porter, obviously all of it's bad and wrong, but you understand why someone who's like, I'm probably not going to stick in the league, I have a chance to make some money, I'm going to make a bad decision, would do that. Chauncey Billups is a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a very well-paid coach. He's a pretty respected guy throughout the league. Like, what is the upside of this?
I don't understand. It's wild. Like some of the rumblings, because these two things are also linked to the Jonte Porter case. So it seems like there's a lot of ties. There have been some rumblings about it all being related to like the mafia and gambling debts and stuff. So some of the theories around Jonte Porter was that he was deep in gambling debt, and thus this is how he's going to get out of it.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of with these two guys being involved, because Terry Rozier has made over $135 million off of his contracts. So how much can you even be making off of this? So it has to be about something more than the money, because the money is clearly there. Yeah, we won't even get into the Chauncey poker thing, but it was like rigging poker games where he and other famous people would be the whole thing of like, oh, play poker with Chauncey Billups and stuff. And then it was all fake, like rigged games using like very tiny earpieces that had to be magneted in and out of your ear, and infrared cards and hidden cameras and all this sort of stuff. So just like swindling people out of their money. But yeah, the FBI's involved. Like these people are legitimately arrested, and Terry Rozier is on indefinite leave from the NBA, as is Chauncey Billups. So yeah, like these dudes are just screwed. I don't know if it's going to do anything to where there's backlash for the teams. I don't think so, because it seems just kind of like bad acting individuals.
Right.
But they're going to be banned, I think, most certainly. And the Chauncey Billups thing is, I don't want to say funny, but the whole thing of his hiring, we were against it because he's a bad person. He has sexual assault cases in his past, just like a bad guy. And when he was hired, it was between him and Becky Hammon for the job. They were the two finalists. And they went with Billups over Hammon. Their reasoning was because Becky Hammon had personality issues. Now, she did go on to be, she got in trouble with the WNBA for mistreating Derek Hamby. So maybe that is still a legitimate thing, but to pick Billups over her, and then she's at the point where she's won 3 titles in the WNBA, and he is had a bad record. They had a bad team, but like now this, like that's a big what if moment if you're a Blazers fan.
Yeah.
So.
But I also think that the Ginger Spurs boy correctly points out what we've said for years at this point, which is like, this is not going to stop until sports betting is, less intrinsically linked to sports. Like you can't, there was a clip that was floating around on Reddit that was not doctored. Like this was a real thing of people on ESPN discussing the scandal while on the lower third of the screen, there's an ad for ESPN Bet. And I think some producer quickly realized it and was like, oh shit, we got to get that off the screen. But
they deleted it during that. But then once they got to the next segment, which was not about the gambling, they put it back on in the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your sacrifice.
Yeah, of course. I know Adam Silver has said certain things where he wants to limit the prop bets that you can place. So certain things of maybe you can only bet on star players. Maybe you can't bet as many certain statistics, because like right now you can just do anything, and there's even like new things where you can just kind of create your own bet, and then the betting company will tell you what the odds are. Like it's not even what it used to be, which was like Jokic has been averaging 30 points a game, so do you think he's going to score above or below 30 points? Now it's like, just drag how many points you think he'll score and we'll tell you what the odds are. Like it's
it's all automated at this point. It's all some sort of formula, I'm sure, that is So I don't know. I agree. We've got another comment from Sal in the chat saying that like sports betting should be an in-person only thing. And that's really the bigger issue is like, look, I'm not going to feel that bad for Terry Rozier or Chauncey Billups at all. Like these people had tens of millions of dollars and chose to make bad decisions. I feel much worse for the, person who's 18 years old and all of a sudden they've got the ability to gamble on whatever they want in their pocket, and there's no guardrails in place, or it's just become so normalized in society that they're like, oh yeah, this is what people do. And now all of a sudden you're in gambling debt when you've barely even started your life. Like it is not even just that they advertise on the courts or in the bottom part of the screen. Every single Cubs game I watched this year, sad baseball reference, they do like a break, I think after the 6th inning, where then before the 7th inning starts, they're like, all right, who's your over under for this inning? And then someone will be like, well, the Cubs are predicted at 1.5 runs for the next half inning. I'm going to take the under. I think the pitching's like the fact that it's just become part of a broadcast is so gross. Like it's one thing to have it. I don't know. I obviously we see millions of ads for, Budweiser every 2 seconds, and like, yes, drinking is probably not great, but like when it's something that could compromise the integrity of the sport and is already provably doing so. Like this was always a thing. There was always Pete Rose. There was always Shoeless Joe Jackson. Like when money is involved, like people are going to be compromised and make bad decisions. But the fact that it's now the industry that it is, I don't know that there's any going back from this really.
Yeah. The problem is that, and I think the gambling companies intentionally did this in the way that they sponsored the media companies. It's become just a normal part of analysis. All of this in air quotes. I don't think it should be, but like it's always seamlessly brought in. Like it's just a normal way to discuss basketball. You do not have to talk about odds. You can just talk about like who you think will win and stuff like that. But whether it's on podcasts that they sponsor or on TV show segments or broadcasts, whatever it is, it's always brought in, like you're saying, where they just try to like seamlessly bring it in. And that is effective advertising. Like it sucks that it's them doing a good job, but like that is smart advertising to just make it seem more normal, make it seem like a thing that you just do. It's a way that you watch sports. And yeah, I think the difference between that and alcohol is like, one, I think the alcohol industry is more harshly regulated, similar with cigarettes. I think that there's probably more rules about the way you have to advertise. I think that's what we're going to have to start doing with sports betting because there's so much money, it's never going away. There's no way these leagues would ever turn it down. But I think there has to be restrictions on like how it is marketed, how it is advertised and stuff like that, because it's just way too ingrained right now. It's way too seamlessly put into the way that basketball is discussed during the actual games, during the analysis of the games, during podcasts about the games. Is too much.
And I think the difference there is like, yes, you're never going to watch a sporting event without there being some sort of ad for Bud Light or something in between. But what I'm talking about is like, it would be like if broadcast took the next step and before the fourth quarter, they're like, I really love drinking. What drink are you guys going to make for yourselves to enjoy during the fourth quarter? And then they're pouring a drink and drinking it on camera. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is a normal thing.
Yeah, that's the big thing is that, and especially it's funny when you hear people talk about betting that like say they don't bet. Like Zach Lowe is basically forced to talk about the odds and stuff like that, but he has often said, I don't bet and I will never bet. And yet still it gets discussed. So yeah, it's everywhere. This is why we have rejected all sort of sports betting stuff that have come through. We turn it off with the dynamic ads and stuff. Like it's just getting really gross out there. And it's no surprise that this is happening right now. And it's probably happening more rampant. These are just the people getting caught. But I think it's really got to get reined in. Hopefully they can like make an example of this, because with the Jonte Porter thing, I think you could kind of yada it because he's such a scrub of a player.
Yeah.
And Terry Rozier was playing poorly, but he's a $25 million a year player, and Chauncey Billups is a head coach. So hopefully these are big wake up calls, because this is pretty big. I think all that's left is a star player getting involved in one of these things, like an all-star.
My fear is that if a star player were implicated, they would pull a Shohei and be like, no, it was like your associate who did it. And listen, maybe we'll never know what actually happened with Shohei Ohtani, but I do think that he was so valuable to baseball that they're like, so we've decided that it was your translator who was making millions of dollars worth of bets, and he's gonna take the fall for you, and I'm sure you can take care of on the back end. I'm not saying that happened, but I'm not saying it didn't happen.
The Terry Rozier thing is interesting as well, because I think he is big enough profile to where that should put a name on it. If you know ball, even a little bit, you've heard of Terry Rozier. He was a contributor on the Celtics, big contract, played for the Hornets. Now he's on the Heat. But what's funny is he kind of like fell off a cliff sharply, and it lines up with the timeline of the betting stuff. So it does make you wonder, has he been throwing a lot of games? Because he's just been like bad out of nowhere, like abruptly. And it's like looking not great. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see what the fallout is, because something has to be done.
Well, I saw an article the other day that said the league has essentially sent out a memo that's like, this is an incredibly serious issue that is compromising our sport. and kind of reevaluating, when injuries need to be announced, what the protocol is for that, because a lot of this stuff is so subtle that like, how do you really control it, right? If people are getting a leg up in their bets because they have some inside source on the team or in the locker room or whatever, who's like, hey, we just got the word that LeBron's not playing tonight, and then that information is not announced for another hour, like, what do you do about that other than say, like, because even if it's not spoken about, there's always people who are going to know things before they're made public.
Yeah, so this is a good point. Zach Lowe brought on the betting expert, like a journalist who covers all sorts of betting stuff for ESPN. They were talking about how one of the people in this case, because it's not just Chauncey and Terry Rozier, there's a bunch of other people, including Damon Jones, who used to be in the NBA, was formerly an assistant coach with a couple of teams, and a very good friend of LeBron James. And one of the bets that they for sure figured out because of text messages and stuff like that is that LeBron had told him that he wasn't playing a game, and then he told a bunch of people to bet the under on the Lakers. But they're friends. So like no one at any point is thinking LeBron is in on this. It's not like the direct Chauncey thing where he like sent messages to people saying we are tanking, which is another level of bad because the NBA doesn't want to admit that anyone ever tanks.
But by the way, that is the perfect slogan for the Trailblazers, to go back to Ginger Spurs.
By the way, we are tanking. They're looking promising now, except, it'd be great if they get a better coach, and this is actually like an incredible,
that would be fun,
like stroke of good fortune for them. But with this LeBron Damon Jones thing, they're just friends. Like you can't expect an NBA player to like not tell any human in their lives something that's going on. So whether it's an injury thing that they just tell someone that they're close with, or even frustration, like what if you are a veteran that's on a team that has decided to tank? You're Devin Booker and the Suns are probably going to be bad this year. Maybe towards the end of the year, they want to tank. You could frustratingly tell your friend like, they're tanking. So they're saying I have a quad injury, even though I'm not really hurt. And then what if your friend is in gambling and they do it? Like you can't blame Devin Booker, but it's going to be very interesting of how they prove all these sorts of things. I think in these cases with Chauncey and with Terry Rozier, there's so many bad actors in multiple instances and the same people that I think it's pretty easy to kind of connect the dots and say that this isn't just kind of like a harmless thing where Chauncey offhandedly made a comment. It's probably very pointed, but there is the situation where an offhanded comment could be used to make gambling information that isn't public. So it's super tricky. And it sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks. Like the integrity of the game element, the fact that it really affects people, like you're saying, who aren't making millions of dollars and can legitimately ruin lives, relationships, friendships, whatever. It's just bad all around. It's really bad. And I don't see an improvement unless the NBA really takes a hard stance, and we'll kind of have to see where they go with this.
Yeah. Well, all right. Before we move on to the main chunk of our episode, I think it's only fair
we have to take our break for the FanDuel.
Oh my God!
Bet. How over under? How many games is Terry Rozier going to get suspended for?
Use promo code.
Brought to you by DraftKings.
So let's talk about little NBA stuff aside from this. It's been a very good first couple of weeks, honestly. Or first week, I guess, as we record this. There's already been several like epic double overtime games, both including the Thunder. But I guess give me, for the first time this season, give me like a, how do you feel as a Knicks fan? Give me some overreacting.
I feel great. Sal makes a good point in the comment that Round Ball Rock is back on the NBC broadcasts, which is elite. That is huge. Baby. Vibes are good. As much as I never want to hand it to Amazon, the Prime coverage has been pretty good as well.
And it seems like the NBC and Peacock coverage has been excellent as well.
It has been. Yeah. And then ESPN's version of Inside the NBA feels exactly the same. So like it seems like broadcast wise you're okay, except for that you have to have 18 different streaming services to watch all the games, and that's just making League Pass worse. So that is very frustrating. But I have enjoyed Knicks basketball quite a bit. You know, we don't talk about the wins and losses here, but we're doing good in that department. But vibes-wise, it's just so nice to see us play our bench. It is so nice to see us have a different offense that is not just go, Jalen, go. And it's been fun to see Mikal Bridges get more involved, OG Anunoby get more involved, Jalen Brunson do off-ball things. It's just been a very refreshing experience and just okay, cool. This is what we hoped would happen. It's doing well. Obviously still got to figure out some stuff. It's this weird stat right now where we are taking a ton of threes, which is great. And we've been at the bottom of the league for that for a while, but we're taking, I think, the first most, or at least after game 3 of the season for us, we were in the first for threes attempted, but we were also in the bottom of wide open threes missed. So hopefully it's just kind of like players get comfortable, regression to the mean, or I guess progression to the mean. And I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm excited to see our new jerseys that have the MSG paneling on the side. I am stoked about the Knicks right now. It's good. It's good vibes.
That's great. And
how you feeling Bulls wise?
I mean, I will talk about the wins and losses because I rarely get to in a positive way. The Bulls are 3-0, and obviously I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they're a great team or they're even a playoff team necessarily, but like my bar is so low for them that like just being really fun to watch is very exciting for me.
Sure.
So the fact that, and I've watched all 3 games, like it's very what you would expect a Billy Donovan team to be. It's a lot of like run and gun, and when they're playing well, it's just like a lot of crisp passing. And what's been really cool is I think last night, I want to say they had 8 or 9 guys in double figures. Like no one scored more than 15 or 16, but there were like, 8 players between 11 and 15 points, which is a cool thing to see. So it's been, better than I expected. Other fun NBA stuff. Obviously, we talked about Wemby's ridiculous start.
We just have an incredible place. Yeah. He's making 360 layups. He's having 9 block games. If you're trying to watch basketball right now and the Spurs are on, just watch the Spurs game. Spurs are just must-watch television right now.
I already have it on my calendar for, I want to say it's like February 26th or something like that, of Spurs at Nets, because like
I was going to say we should go. Let's get Spurs Nets tickets for 13 cents.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think just because of the Wemby effect, they're already more than other games would be, and it's one of those things where it's like, well, do you buy it now and hope for the best? Probably
wait
not.
Wait till I would think January, because the prices will raise as it gets closer when it seems like he's not injured. But I think let's let it cool off.
Something to think about. But we've had an amazing opening week for VJ Edgecombe. The 76ers. 34 points his debut, which I think was like the most since Wilt Chamberlain or something like that.
When you have a stat that says no one's done this since Wilt, you're doing very well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Austin Reeves put up 51.
Lowry Markkanen, the finisher, also had a 50-point game. So
we had our first Cooper Flag dunk moment.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, there's been a lot of exciting things. A lot of fun, exciting things going on. So yes, watch basketball. It's good. So now we can
watch it. Don't bet on it. That's our message for you.
That concludes Full Court Press Get It Like the News. I don't know if we even introed Full Court Press Get It Like the News. I think we just seamlessly went into it. But now let's seamlessly go out of it and into what we're doing for That Actually Happened, which is going over the new version of the NBA Cup courts. So they have released all of the NBA Cup courts. They've not released all of the NBA City Edition jerseys yet. So that'll be another thing where we'll do this. But I believe using this streaming service, I can share my screen. We were originally going to do a draft, but because this was longer, like a draft would take too long. So we're just going to go through the courts alphabetically by team. And then we will...
Yes, this is our annual analysis from 2 people who are colorblind. Commenting on things that are incredibly
I only struggle with shades of blue and purple, and there's not many people in the indigo space in the NBA.
In the indigo space.
So we're on the NBA's thing where it's got all of the courts. So what you will notice this year, last year they had the circle motif where every single court had like the 3 circles where one was, I think, brighter in the middle and then darker on the outsides. We have this changing of intensity rectangle situation. So if you make like a diagonal line across, you can see it pretty clearly here on the Hornets one where it's like a light diagonal line of rectangles, a medium diagonal line of rectangles, darker. So there's like 4 shades of light to dark. And if you go like from left to right here, it goes from darker to lighter, or I guess 5 shades, and then lighter to dark here. And then it like alternates. So it's a pretty cool effect. For certain courts, and for other ones, it does not look particularly good.
And by the way, if you are someone who is not a patron and you're not watching the kind of rerun of this, we're going to share a link. Just follow along because it'll probably be more fun that way. If you're driving, don't do that and maybe listen to this part later.
But we will describe in
yes.
audio terms as best we can
Exactly.
as well. So the first one here is the Atlanta Hawks. It is basically just red, solid red, but then the rectangles make a little bit of an effect. And then it has their Atlanta word mark. That is also the motif for this year, where the thing that is in the middle of the court over the NBA cup, like the literal cup, is like the team's word mark logo. So it says out like the city or the team name. Most often these are things actually on their jerseys. So it's kind of bringing jersey designs onto the court. So this one says Atlanta, and every single court has the vertical cup in the middle at center court, and then the cup kind of horizontally where the paint where the free throws are shot. And I do think that's very cool, and I'm glad they've kept that. It's cool that it lines up with the circle that's in the foul line and then goes into the middle. Like, that is a very cool effect, and I like that they're doing that every single year.
And also, related side note, we did get confirmation all this time in advance that the NBA will officially have the finals trophy logo on the court for the finals after much chagrin and gnashing of teeth. So that will be happening.
So thankfully, it is back. So this one says Atlanta. It's got the NBA Cup cups. So this one says Atlanta. It's got the NBA Cup cups. And then it has their 1990s era Hawk faded in a lighter red in the middle. I think it's pretty good. It's a good, simple, clean design. It also has a black border with Hawks on the side, and then True to Atlanta as their slogan, which I think feels good. That feels kind of like a New York forever. I also ranked all of these from 1 to 30 in case we did do a draft. So I had this one at 15, just like right in the middle. Seems solid, nothing special, fun.
Yeah. I'm with that.
The next one is Boston, which unfortunately looks incredible because the Celtics have that parquet floor, which is made up of alternating vertical and horizontal rectangles. It's like a hardwood flooring kind of design.
Is it parquet or parquet?
Oh, I guess parquet. It's spelled like parquet, but I guess parquet. Thank you for the
No. I wasn't. English is a silly and stupid language. How
especially
can you
when
eat
we
a
use French
on a parquet
words.
Floor?
Yeah, but it unfortunately lines up perfectly with the rectangles, where this looks super cool.
It is.
It looks so cool. It's unfortunately incredible. They have their Boston word mark in the middle, which is a very vertical word mark, so it does take up a lot of the court. This looks great. It's got the black border. It's got the 6 for Bill Russell at the bottom, and what does it have? Is that his signature underneath? Oh no, Red Auerbach signature. Yeah. So Red Auerbach signature, Bill Russell's number. It's just really good. It's really solid. I had them number 2. Like, it's just an incredible looking court. Yeah. Can't knock it. The contrast of the gold and the green looks good color-wise, and then also the Celtics use gold as an alternate color. It's really good. It's really, really good. The Nets are the third one. Actually, also looks good.
I like it a lot. Yeah, I was going to say
the I guess like the herringbone sort of pattern looks really good with this rectangle thing, and it alternates where like the chevrons are going to the left and then the right and the left and the right. It really does look good with this design. The Brooklyn word mark is very prominently been displayed on their jersey, so it fits. They got their little subway tiling on the bottom. The only thing, this is where my colorblindness comes into play. Does the light blue Barclays Center hurt your eyes?
Yes.
I cannot read it.
But weirdly, I actually like my
eyes.
colorblindness in this way because it makes the sponsor less obvious. And that's one of the most garish parts of all the courts.
Yeah, I do think that gray, light blue, and white is a good color scheme. So I think this probably looks good to non-colorblind people. Yeah, and then I hate that they use it because I'm jealous, but them using Helvetica, the subway font for Brooklyn Nets by the subway tiling is very good. It is very good.
I would have used papyrus, but that's just me.
Oh, God. And it does fit with them being black and white. Since subway signs are black and white, like, it works. It looks really good. I had this one ranked quite high. I had them 13. I should have them higher. I think I just was mad that the Knicks don't use subway stuff. It's good.
The
Hornets.
Yeah.
Hornets are next. They got the purple border, then the teal court with the honeycomb, and then Charlotte in the middle says the hive is alive, which is fun. My only knock on this is that the Charlotte is also in a deep teal and is bordered in black. I don't know if they were allowed to change the coloring. Like, does it have to exactly match what is on your jersey? But the Charlotte itself doesn't pop very much.
Yeah,
and I thought it would have looked better in white.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I think either outline the lettering in white or put the words in white with like a deep teal or the purple. Like, I probably would have done white lettering, purple outline on the teal honeycomb court. That's what I would have picked, but maybe that's not like what they're allowed to do because it has to be the official stuff. So I would have had this higher, but the middle just does not look good.
Right.
And
the honeycomb is sweet though.
Honeycomb is sweet. I love that they continue to do that.
Pun
That's
intended
fantastic.
or not intended, but either way.
Oh, intended, baby, intended. I had them 17th because I was very disappointed in how cool it could look. All right, the Bulls, a good one for the Chicago Bulls. It is gray, which I normally don't like, but I think it does fit in the Bulls color scheme.
I just wish, and I don't know what the rules are exactly, but like, so the coolest part of the court is that it's a big Chicago flag. They've got like the 4 stars of the Chicago flag.
Yeah.
But like, is there a rule that they couldn't just make it the colors of the Chicago flag?
I think so, because every court is only one color. Like the rectangle is all the same color, and then this rectangle effect makes it darker and lighter. None of the courts have multiple colors.
Right.
So I think that had to have been a league directive where they couldn't make it the light blue, white, light blue striping like the flag has.
Yeah.
I think it could have been fun if they did a light blue instead of the gray.
Yeah.
Because that would have made the flag better. But the gray, I think, fits more with their jerseys. So I take it. Also, could look fun as a black court. But I don't think any of the courts are black. So I wonder if that was another thing where no one was allowed to do a black court. Because maybe since the NBA Cup has black in it, it would look weird. But there's 0 black courts, making me think that teams were not allowed to choose black. But the stars are fun. The 4 stars going all the way across the court are fun. It makes the paint where the other trophy look even cooler. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And of course, on the bottom, seared,
where the D is made out of
red.
The little logo, which is fun.
That is a nice touch.
I gave a lot of nods to the fact that it's using like the city word mark that shows up on jerseys. For teams that have kind of kept the same word mark for a long time, it looks better. So like the Bulls have had this forever. The Celtics have had that forever. So you see that and you're like, oh yeah, right, the Bulls. So it looks more on brand. I think this court is good. I like it. I had it 12. So like almost a top 10 court. I think it's pretty good. The next one is from the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is almost identical to the court they did last year, where you have like their net motif where their V and some of their logos is a net. They have that going. Other than that, there's nothing. It just like says Cleveland in the center. There's no alternate designs. The red and the gold does work because the Cavs are wine and gold. It says "Let 'em know" as their slogan, which feels so bad.
It's such a generic, like that means nothing related to Cleveland.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty rough. I had them 22nd. Like I like that it works with their color schemes, but it's just very boring. The black border is boring. Like it's just all around. It's just, it's fine. Like it's perfectly fine, but like nothing
as
exciting.
much as like Believeland or whatever is kind of corny, at least it makes you think of Cleveland. Like if you told a person who doesn't know anything about sports, or even who does, hey, which team's slogan is "Let 'em know"? You could guess any team from any sport, and that means nothing.
The other thing is there's no apostrophe before the E, so it's not saying "let them know." It's saying "let M, your friend, know." Like, oh, hey, tell your friend Emma or Emmett, who goes by M, let M know.
Well, maybe M is notoriously a little flighty and doesn't always know when the games are on, and you got to let M know.
Got to let him know. All right, this next up is the Dallas Mavericks. This one actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's simple, but it's just the Mavericks blue with the big Mavericks logo, but I like the big logo kind of taking up the whole thing.
Yeah, but they will. I mean, there's still a little time before the Emirates Cup, so they will probably trade this for an older, worse court.
The Dallas in the middle, again, they've had this word mark for a long time, so it looks good. I'm intrigued to see how it looks in real life, because at least on this preview image, there's like weird ripple effects going on with the circle. Like, do you see the weird ripples on the left here where like it doesn't perfectly go around here and there? Like, I don't know what's happening there.
Well,
it's like
you know what
in
it
the
is?
middle of the rectangles too.
So it's just basically mirroring. So on the right side is like just a basketball, which is circular. So it's just like an outline of that. And on the left, there's a little more stuff going on. So it's just like a direct shadow outline.
So is the outline of the map? And yeah, the indents are where it's like not a ball, but like the seam of the basketball. Why would they not just make it a pure circle? That's wild.
Yeah,
maybe I have to
choice.
dock some points now. That's weird. I'll be interested to see that on the court. I'll be like, the squiggle. But yeah, I thought this one's pretty good. It just looks like classic. It feels very Mavericksy. So I think it's solid. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had it at 16.
Exactly.
Like, right in the middle.
Middle of the road.
Yeah. Similarly, Denver, it's, they've got their big axe picking logo in the middle. They've got the red, the blue, the gold. It all works. The thing that just bugs me, though, is that they've used like the official Denver Nuggets yellow/gold, which is a different gold than the trophy color. So it just looks like it's clashing.
Right. Even I can see that.
Yeah. And then their slogan is just Elevation 5280, which is like, we get it. You play in Denver. We get it.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. There's nothing like bad about it. I think the big logo is fun, but it's just, I don't know. The gold clashing kind of sucks.
Yeah, why not use a different logo? That was like they have other versions of the Denver logo, right?
Right. Yeah. They could have used, I think, a different one and like maybe alternate the colors, like maybe do gold in the court, gold in the background, something where you don't have to put gold in the middle because it's just so clearly two different versions of gold and it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Then we've got the Pistons, which I did not like. I did not like this.
I don't like this DET instead of Detroit in the middle of the court.
Right. So they have been using this DET logo on some of their alternate jerseys. I think this is one of those examples of like, it had to be an official thing that's on a jersey because I currently don't think any of the Pistons jerseys say Detroit. I think if you look at the Pistons jerseys, I think they all say Piston. Oh no, they do have ones that say Detroit. They do have that. So why didn't they use their regular Detroit?
And they also have the ones that have the cool like Bad Boys era cursive.
Right. Yeah, they do. They have multiple that actually say Detroit on them. So why not? Why use this alternate one? Like this is the opposite of what I'm saying with like the Celtics or the Bulls, where it's like, oh yeah, the Pistons. Like they've had that Pistons thing since the Chauncey Billups era Pistons.
Which Ginger Spurs Boy correctly points out, debt is what you'll be in if you do too much sports gambling.
So this is just like they have their 313, which I guess is the area code of Detroit logo. Like they've made a court.
You know why I know that?
Because there's a song with it.
Yeah, it's famously used in 8 Mile during the freestyle where it says, everybody in the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. And then they all, do the thing.
Yeah. So like they've done this based on a very recently added to their repertoire jersey instead of a historic jersey. So this just feels at a place. Maybe they're really trying to like establish their new era, which they are, long overdue for new jerseys. So maybe this is like them trying to usher this in as the new official one, which I would welcome, but currently just kind of looks out of place. And then their slogan is "In it for my city," which again is like, let them know any team could have this.
Right.
It's not even a lyric of a Detroit-based rapper. I don't know I'm sure Eminem has said something about Detroit that they could have used here instead, but "In it for my city."
Yeah, that's not great.
Just nothing. I do like the blue and red stripes around "In it for my city." I think that's fun, but the slogan itself is fart noise. All right, here's another one that I had quite low on my rankings.
It's so drab.
I had this 29th. The Golden State Warriors, who they keep doing this with their courts. They keep doing gray for their courts. I like using the alternate W because that logo doesn't get used very much, but this Golden State word mark, they've only recently switched to this font, so it doesn't feel as classic.
This is my least favorite one so far.
Yeah, it's really bad. I only have one ranked lower than it, and we've not gotten to it yet. But just black border, then the Golden State's in blue, the Warriors on the side of the court is in yellow, no slogan on the bottom. The faded W takes up the whole thing, but like it's not like a distinct logo. This is a franchise with so many cool logos in their history, and they've done this. It sucks. Like it's so boring.
I know they're not allowed to, but imagine if instead of the W, they just had like a silhouette version of Steph doing the night. How electric that would be.
I don't want Steph to retire, but when he does retire and they start doing Steph jerseys and courts and stuff, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. But yeah,
what is his statue? Bad. It's probably his follow through, but the night would be pretty cool for a statue.
The night would be good. It would be good. It's such a good celebration. It's such a good celebration. All right, the Rockets, they have run back the exact thing almost that they did last year, but because it is a circular based design, I think it looks bad on the rectangles. It looks so cool on the circles because it looked like a rocket taking off with the center circle.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their one from last year. You're right.
So sick. What was in the center? Because this says Houston. What was in the center last year?
It was just the rocket logo, so just the R with like the circle under it.
and like the rockets going out. Yeah, like it looks cooler. This is just the worst version of that. It makes the rectangle design in the center most portion of the court too clear because there's not as many of these like motion blur.
Right. It looks like it's pixelating part of the court because there's something inappropriate on it.
It looks like the court hasn't loaded. Like it sucks. It just like this works so well with the circle motif and it didn't work with the rectangle.
Because the general vibe is like in a galaxy far, far away. Like that's kind of the
100%.
What they're going for, but I would agree that it works. Yeah, looking back at last year, it's really almost the exact same, but the circles make it so much better.
It looks like they forgot the deadline and they were just like, shit. And they're just like, quick, submit what we did last year. It's fine. Or they like uploaded it. They were like, all right, as a draft, just upload that one and then we'll change it before October 1st. And then it was like, there's only 30 days in September. Oh no. Shit. I thought we had another day. Yeah, not great. Pacers. This is one that I think if you're a Pacers fan, you love. And if you're not a Pacers fan, you don't, because it's got the huge boom baby again, which I think is stupid. But if I was a Pacers fan, I'd probably think this is awesome.
I just don't know why they're hanging on to something that was like 30 years ago.
Doesn't the broadcaster still say it though? Is that not a thing?
I know the guy back in like those 90s teams with like Reggie Miller and Jalen Rose and all those guys. Like I remember hating it because I would hear it against the Bulls when that was like a big rivalry. But I guess maybe they still say it. I don't know. I feel like, especially for a team coming off of such an amazing year, they could have done something more interesting. I know they're kind of limited in terms of like what they're allowed to use, but
yeah. It's also just annoying that they have the boom baby in the background and the boom baby on the bottom. And then the Indiana Navy, because of the like light and dark effect of the rectangles, like doesn't match the navy of the court. It's just like the Indiana doesn't pop. The boom baby is used twice. I don't love it. I do like the yellow border blue. Like it does make the court really pop, which is fun. But
the coloring I like, but nothing else.
Right. Like I think they could have done some cooler stuff there. Next, we got the Clippers. I love this court. I think this one looks really good. I had this number 3, like red border with the classic Clipper script, blue court with the Los Angeles script, the new Clippers logo superimposed to where it's like really big. So you get the fun, like big circular logo and the rectangle motif. Make waves is a very fun slogan.
Yeah, that's good.
Make waves is a very fun slogan. I think it's good.
They certainly made some waves in the offseason, not the kind they wanted to.
But they didn't make any social media posts about the companies that are sponsoring them. Yeah, I just think it looks clean. It looks good. The Los Angeles fits really nicely atop the centermost trophy. I think it just looks really good. It's just correct.
It's a strong one.
They just made the right calls. Similarly, the Lakers one, this looks really good. It looks really good. They've got the motion blur LA over the court and then in the background with the design. So it's kind of like a faded echo. It looks really nice. The yellow of the court, the purple of the background, all of their championship years at the bottom. It's
that's
really
like a
good.
nice flex too, to have that many stars that take up like half of the length of the court, basically.
Yeah, it's really good. I had this number 4 in my rankings. It just looks really solid. I think I would like it if the background LA behind the trophy looked more clear, because it is a very vertical logo. The trophy is covering a lot of it, so it's kind of hard to tell. So I think it would have been cool if maybe instead of the LA in the background, they did the full motion blur Lakers logo.
Right.
So it was like LA and then Lakers taking up the whole court. Maybe it didn't fit. Maybe they tried that. That's the only knock. It's like close to being incredible, but I think it still looks fantastic.
I mean, to have the LA then with like a silhouette LA behind it, I think is a very cool look. So
yeah,
I'm
just that it's just that the trophy covers part of it, and that's not their fault. Like the trophy is the same size on every court.
Yeah.
But color-wise, it's really solid too, because they have like white LA, purple lettering, yellow court. Like the contrast, the LA pops so hard. It almost looks 3-dimensional. It's really good. Then we have the Grizzlies, another one where their logo works well with the rectangle design, kind of like the Celtics. They've had this MEM, like 3 vertical bars, 3 horizontal bars, 3 vertical bars, utilized quite a bit. And they're using this on the court in gray, on the trim in the bottom in navy blue, where the outer border is light blue. Their Memphis logo that they've had for such a long time is in the middle. Just looks really nice. The squares works well with the rectangle design. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's strong. And I do think it works a lot better than it would have with the circular court. I'm looking at so last year they had like just a gigantic MEM that went over the whole court. So I think this one looks better.
I think it looks a lot better. And this is like the right version where these are kind of turning iconic jerseys into courts. And this feels like what has been their alternate jersey for almost 20 years at this point.
Right.
So I think this works really, really well. The Memphis really pops. The deep navy Memphis on the gray court really pops. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we got the Miami Heat. This one, I don't love how much of the basketball logo gets cut off. So much of their main logo is it's in the superimposed yellow portion, and then they've got their red border and the black Heat. Like that all looks good. The Miami in the middle looks good. I just don't like that you can see like half of the basketball.
I also don't really like. Is that a yellow, like kind of a faint yellow?
Yes, it's like it is
kind
yellow,
of a
but
gross like piss yellow. I don't love it.
I think it's just like
New Jersey license plate vibes.
I think because of the situation of like what the rectangles do, I think the darkest rectangle is the actual color, and then everything else is lighter. So it makes the gold look just like a faded piss, like you're saying.
Right.
It doesn't look good in any square except for the dark ones.
There's no reason that they couldn't have had the whole logo in there and then just have it not take up the entire court. Again, maybe there are stipulations that we're not aware of in terms of like the percentage of the court that the logo occupies. But that's why, for example, to go back to the first one, like the Atlanta Hawk looks really cool because it perfectly fits into a rectangle.
Right. Yeah. So not ideal. Not ideal. Then we got the Bucks. This one is another one where I think it looked better when it was a circle design, but you've got green court, black border, Fear the Deer underneath in the cream coloring. Fantastic. The font, fantastic. Like a nice, good serif font. Really solid. The Milwaukee, they've had that word mark on their jerseys for a very long time, so it looks iconic. The rectangle effect just looks like too stark because there's nothing really else going on.
Yeah, but then the antlers that are like coming out from each side of the
it's not bad. I like
cool.
the way that the antlers point and kind of meet where the Milwaukee curves end is nice. I just think this is cooler on circles than rectangles.
I also find it interesting, and I think they, same as last year, are the only team that did this. They're the only team that has the sponsor twice on top and not one on top and one on bottom diagonally from each other. And I think it looks kind of odd.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why they do that.
Don't know. Fiserv.
Papa
Fiserv told me.
I bet Papa Fiserv does it because they film from the bottom and they're like, we don't want one of our logos to be upside down on TV. They care more about how it looks on TV than in the arena. Because that's why teams do like the top and bottom.
No, but top and bottom are facing the same direction.
Oh,
because
yeah,
they're
on other
facing the
things.
TV
Yeah.
cameras.
Yeah, that's weird. Why do they do top? If we ever get anyone from the Bucks on, that's going to be the first question we ask.
Yeah.
Timberwolves are next. They've got like it looks like a charcoal or a really deep forest green as the background. And then this like their lime green alternate that they use sometimes with the tree design. And then Minnesota in the middle. I don't love it. It's
not great. Looking back, last year was like fully lime green and was even worse, but it's essentially the exact same court, the exact same trees, the exact same everything. This is just limier and
right. And what sucks is their official Minnesota word mark that is used here does not have a border, which is rare. Most of them have a border. And because it's on a lime green background, it doesn't pop as much. If they used a darker green, then it would stand out more. But like you kind of lose the NES of Minnesota when it gets over the trophy. So it just looks weird. I'm not a huge fan. Poopy. Not a huge
bottom
fan.
5 for me.
Yeah, I had that one pretty low. I had them 23rd. Now, this one I had number 1. The Pelicans court looks, I think, fantastic.
It is the exact same as last year. The only difference being now they have NOLA instead of the bird logo because that's like the style for this year. But yeah, similar to the Hawks, like because of the way their logo is formatted, which is like a scary pelican, essentially, it fits really nicely over the entire court. Yeah, and I guess somehow the rectangularness with the more like kind of circular vibes of the logo actually enhances it in a way. I don't really know how to describe that better, but
yeah, I think part of it is that one of the rectangles goes just over the Pelican's eyes. So it makes that stand out. And the way that it's positioned, it looks like it's staring dead at the trophy. Like, we're going to win this fucking thing. We're going to get this goddamn cup. So I like that. The NOLA pops again. It looks like a 3D effect almost. Like the NOLA really, really pops on the court.
Yeah.
They've used their colors well. And they kept it simple with just the Pelicans logo at the bottom, not some sort of cheesy slogan. Pelicans word mark on the side looks good. The red border looks good. Like, it looks
Shout
solid.
out to
the
Jordan
gold
Poole
works.
for saying that the environment was good and simultaneously shitting on Wizards fans. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He did an interview where he was like, it's so great to be in New Orleans where people actually care Like the last few years in Washington, it was dead. And then a bunch of Wizards fans were like, "Dog, we won 25 games in 2 years. What do you want from us?"
Yeah,
it's like, you
also,
were part of the problem.
That's so funny given that the Pelicans notably have like one of the worst attendance histories in the league. So you're just going from like the worst to the second worst is pretty funny. But yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks really solid. The gold of the trophies works because their third color, their tertiary color is gold, so it fits.
Really I like the comment from Ginger Spurs Boy saying that the Pelican is staring at Zion, trying to intimidate him into eating healthy.
He's looking skinnier. Skinny Zion, baby.
The Pelican is just staring at his MyFitnessPal app.
Now we got the Knicks. This one is so close to being good. If it was an orange border instead of a black border around the court, I would have loved it. I think the black border is kind of boring. I do like that Madison Square Garden is in orange so that even with the sponsor logo kind of there, we get more orange in the mix.
I wish it were switched though, because I think, and maybe it's just my eyes, like I can read the white a lot easier than the orange. I wish Chase were in orange and MSG were in white so that it popped more.
Yeah. Or just the whole thing was in orange.
Sure.
But I think it looks good. I like that they have an accurate skyline in the background and not just, the Empire State Building is next to the Statue of Liberty, who's next to the Freedom Tower.
Like a t-shirt that sold at the Hudson News at LaGuardia.
Exactly. So I like a lore accurate skyline. I think the blue looks cool. The orange of New York blends a little bit too much with the gold of the trophy in the middle. So yeah, I would have loved an orange border to make it pop a little more than the black border, but alas, what are you gonna do? Thunder are next. Another one that I think is just good. It's just kind of like they use their orange, they use their navy, they got their big whatever basketball triangle thing is in the middle of their logo. What really helps for them is that the Oklahoma City word mark has been on their jerseys since their inception. So this feels very true to turning their jersey into an actual court. I'm interested to see what it would have looked like if they went with their teal instead of the navy. Maybe it would have been like death on the eyes, but I think it just looks good. The contrast of the blue and the orange pops really well.
Yeah, this one's like not particularly complex, but it all works. And I would say it's like I would rank it between like a 10 and 15. I don't know where you had it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had it as number 8. I just thought it's pretty good. Did the right thing. The Orlando Magic. This one's close to being incredible, but alas, I like how the background, the border matches their new jersey that has like half blue, half black. I think that's fun. The star pattern is cool, but the fact that it doesn't line up perfectly with the rectangle irks me so much. It really bugs me that the tops of the stars are cut off at the very top of the court and the bottoms of the stars are cut off at the bottom thing. None of them line up well.
Yeah, why couldn't
rectangles.
They have made the stars a little better so that they all fit perfectly into the court?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't fit in the rectangles. They don't fit in the courts vertically or horizontally. They don't line up in the middle. Like, there is nothing that matches. Even where the points where two stars meet doesn't go perfectly at half court.
Right.
Like, nothing lines up well. It really bugs me. It really bugs me.
What is the signature on the bottom? I can't read that.
It's whatever the court is. Zooming in, it looks like it says Rich and Helen DeVos. So the team owners, that sucks. I'm going to knock it even more. I had it. Where did I have it? I had it at 19. That's not low enough. Like the background being the half and half is cool and it matches their jersey, but like the rest of it really sucks. I hate their new word mark. It looks like someone, like, I know this is what their new uniforms look like, but it really looks like when you have a knockoff at TJ Maxx. Like it's just not good. It's so close, but it just sucks. All right, the Sixers. This one's good.
I like it.
I think it's solid. I think it'd look better with the circle than with the rectangles, but I think the filla looks good. Again, no border makes it not pop as much, which kind of stinks. The stars getting cut off kind of stinks. The brotherly love at the bottom is good, though. The Philadelphia
It's the
76ers
exact
on the side
same
is good.
court as last year.
Yeah.
Just a different color scheme.
And it just worked better with the circles and not as much the rectangles. Right. So it's fine. Phoenix, this one's, I think I like the colors of it. The black and the orange is fun.
Like a burnt orange sort of vibe?
Yeah, the sun in the background is fun. The only thing I don't love, though, is that the diagonal of Phoenix is not at the same angle as the diagonal of the sun.
Gosh, you and I are the same person.
But they're not the same.
Whenever I tag two people in an Instagram post, my OCD makes them be like perfectly lined up or it will drive me nuts.
Yeah. So I don't like that the two diagonals don't line up.
Yeah, because if you did line it up, which wouldn't have been that hard to do, then it would look like it's just kind of like shooting out of the sun basketball thing.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things of like their logo is at one angle, their word mark is at another angle. They have to use their official things. They don't get to tweak it. But this makes me think, okay, well, when they made the Phoenix word mark on their jerseys, it should match the sun. How do you not have it match the logo? It's a slam dunk. It's right there. What are you doing? Ugh. And then Suns Up is their slogan. Kind of fun. Kind of fun. Suns Up is good.
Yeah, and you know what they do that the Bulls should do? They put up like in a different place. Obviously, in this case, it makes sense because up is up, but otherwise it would look like Suns Up. Seared?
So now we got the Blazers. I like this. I really like this.
Does that
because
say something or what is that pattern?
So it's their logo in the background. But they've made it into, it looks like rain, which I think works for Portland.
I've heard of rains there, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's cool because they have their logo in the middle, but then on the sides, like it keeps going. So it's like, it looks like it would just be a diagonal line rain motif across the whole thing. But then in the center of the court, it turns into their logo. This makes me question all the people that did weird things with the logo because clearly you could do fun stuff with the logo.
Sure.
So like, why did the Heat do what they did when Portland can do this and it's way better? So I very much like how this looks. The Portland, again, has the issue of like not having a border, so it kind of blends in with the trophy design in the middle. But I still think this looks really good. You got the charcoal court, the red border. Rip City runs deep seems meh to me. Like you could just put Rip City. That's enough of a slogan. You don't need to slogan on top of your slogan.
Right. But I do like the font.
Yeah.
It's kind of
their
old
classic
70s,
retro font.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a good look. I like it. I like them being fun with their logo. I think it's a good court.
Yeah.
Now we got the Kings. This was my least favorite court. I hate the way. So they've, in the background, they've done this thing where they've like a crown and then I don't know the name of this effect, but basically you have the crown and then it's a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger up into the point where it like goes all the way out, which like would be cool.
I can't even see it.
So if you look in the very middle, you can see a crown, kind of like around Sacramento.
Okay.
And then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The problem is where these lines intersect with the rectangle, it from afar, it just looks like a fucking mess. Like none of it lines up with the rectangles at all. You have to like really do what you did where you put your face all the way in to be like, oh, there's the crown. I think this is going to look horrendous on television because it just looks like diagonal lines are going everywhere.
And also, I never can remember what Golden One is. But it's such a bad logo. It looks like Golden Corral. Like that's the first thing that my brain goes to.
They have a bad logo and that golden one is like yellow with a black border and shadow dropping. And then center is white in a different font with no border. And then credit union is under golden one in a different font. 3 fonts, 1 logo. Tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Oh, really
and then
bad,
it just
really,
says
really bad.
proud.
Yeah. Oh no, sack proud.
Sack proud.
Which
Where's
I think
the
is
sack?
fine. In the middle of the basketball in the O.
I see. Okay.
So they've gone really deep. The O is a basketball and the basketball O has sack inside of it. We've like really inceptioned the logo. I like the purple checkered racing thing at the bottom and it fading out I think is kind of fun. I don't see why you don't also do it at the top. It only being at the bottom is kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the diagonal lines just look an absolute mess with this rectangle design. And I don't think this looks good.
Yeah.
I do like the dark Sacramento on the gray court, but like, I don't know, it's really bad. And you're right, that golden one logo is just horrendous. Also, 2 of the fonts are sans serif and 1 is serif. Like 3 different fonts, 2 different styles. What are we doing? It's bad. That's like an offensive sponsor logo. Pretty tough. All right, now we're getting to another one I did not love, the San Antonio Spurs. Give me a Fiesta court. I hate it. Give me a Fiesta court.
Yep.
Fiesta court.
We ask
it's
so
just
little
gray.
Wemby deserves better.
He does. Light gray background, dark gray court, San Antonio in the middle. But like they've changed their font recently to where like the San Antonio doesn't even look like their classic San Antonio. The Go Spurs Go at the bottom is good because that's been their slogan forever. So I like that. They've got their alternate logo, which is the outline of the state of Texas and then a spur that is in theory supposed to go where San Antonio is, but it doesn't. Like that's not the dot of the spur is not where San Antonio is located. So that's always bugged me about this logo. It gets cut off at the top and the bottom as well. So it's like, why didn't we make it smaller?
I wish that the logo were just of a stern Popovich, just like Pop frowning.
Yeah. So it's just so boring. It's like gray, black, white. It's blech, 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 yawn. Didn't love it.
Yeah.
On the flip, I kind of like the Raptors one. They at least like did something with it.
It's not bad.
They
Go
got
Blue Jays,
Toronto
by the
in
way.
the middle. I hope both teams lose.
Fair enough.
You got Toronto in the middle in black, the red court, We the North, both vertical and horizontal and upside down. Like I like that kind of being all over the place in different levels. Like sometimes it's just an outline, sometimes it's a solid. And what I really love, their little Canada maple leaf version of their logo with the 3 stripes at the bottom. Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah, it's
logo.
like the red maple leaf with a raptor claw going through it, right?
Yeah. They also have some sort of like longitudinal, latitudinal thing, like a 43.6435 degrees north. I guess that's like the latitude line that goes through. But like, why not have the full coordinate? I guess because they're trying to be like, this is the line that goes through all of Canada.
And the only thing that's tough is that while I do think We the North is a good and fun logo, it's only actually fully visible one time. And then in the middle of the court, it just looks like Weth North. And then on the right side of the court, it looks like Weth Nort.
So by Googling it, it says that the latitude of Scotiabank Arena where they play is 43.6435 degrees north, but then also 79.3794 degrees west. But I guess they're only, because it's We the North, so they're just putting exactly where the North they are. We are the yeah, that makes me like it less. We the North, specifically this North. kind of
Nerd alert.
Yeah, a little nerdy. And then we've got the Utah Jazz. I like it. You've got the black border, the purple court, the Utah with the black and the purple. So it fits, we've got
nice.
black and purple court, black and purple logo. The fading of the dark and the light purple is like the difference between dark purple and light purple is so stark that this is the court where you can most clearly see the rectangle effect. And because the mountain just kind of takes up the entire rectangle and is very simple, just like a 3-peak mountain, it works really well. I think it looks really good. It kind of really fades into the background nicely. The Utah motion of the court is nice. They just got Utah Jazz at the bottom and on the sides. I think it looks really clean. I like it a lot.
They misspelled Jash, though.
Yes. And then finally, your Washington Wizards.
Same
Similar
shit
to what they
as
did
last
last
year.
time.
Yeah.
Same thing as last year. I don't love it. I like the hand reaching out ball thing. I just feel like it's just boring. I don't know what else you're supposed to do, but this just feels kind of boring. It's perfectly passable, but it's just kind of boring.
It's also funny how much they go back to their old logos when they rebranded intentionally. Not that this in any way implies anything about the Bullets, but like this is a very old school looking court, and like Wizards are fun. Couldn't there be more fun with Wizards?
Yeah, the other thing is Washington is such a long word. I think there was a rule about the word mark not going into like the 3-point line.
Yeah.
So by nature of that, the word mark thing of Washington takes up such little real estate on the court. I think that's what bugs me about this. The Washington itself is so small, contrasted with the Boston, which is a very vertical, curving word mark. It takes up a good chunk of the court. It's like the Boston Celtics play here. This is kind of like Washington. And it's just like really, really tiny.
Yeah. And
again, that's like not their fault. It's the format of the thing, but I just don't love how it looks. I think they could have done something a little bit different.
Fair enough.
That is the court ranking. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and just go back to the stream. But yeah, that was that. Fun times.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good amount of courts. Glad we could do this with the stream.
Oh,
People could see it and all that. So yeah, that has been this episode of Horse. Let's do the credits. Thanks for listening to this episode of Horse. Horse is hosted by Adam Mawala and Mike Schubert. This episode was edited by Mike Schubert. The art is by Alison Wakeman. The website is by Kelly Schubert. The music is by Bettina Campamanas. And the social media is by both of the Horse Boys.
Thank you to our producer-level patrons, Polly Bird, Salvatore Testa, Siobhan Ellsbury, Don't Go Chasing Taco Falls, Bang, Bang, Roast Beef Debris, Denver Steam Nuggets, Anna Reed, Steph Curry is Unk. Yes, because that's what 30-something-year-olds sound like, myself included. Chase Underulo, Naked Rachel, Sidney Crosby is a Vampire, Chelsea's Cousin, Ginger Spurs Boy, Balls to the Walls, Mats Furli, and Utah Jash. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Horse Hoops and on Twitter at Horse_Hoops because
Horse Hoops was in charge of all of the bad courts and was the one gambling on these games.
Well, that sounds like grounds for banning where I come from. You can go to our website, horsehoops.com, for links to the many things we talked about today, including, most importantly, the link where you can see all of the courts.
Yes, and if you want to support the Horse Boys and get access to these streams that we're referencing, whether you watch it live or watch the replay of it, you get access to the episodes way early. We're recording this Tuesday. The episode doesn't come out until next Tuesday, so you get to hear our thoughts so much earlier. You can go to patreon.com/horsehoops, support us at any tier, you get access to the streams, and then you get different things at the other different tiers. But you can also support us by going to horsehoops.com/merch. You can get physical merch, Subnerds' basketball shirts, which we're running low on, so head over. And then there's also digital stuff that will never run out of stock, like wallpapers and ringtones and stuff like that. But we will conclude this episode the way we always do, by putting our hands in the middle and saying something on the count of 3. What are we feeling?
Well, I think our last episode was teeing up the championship of the softball season, which sadly I missed, but you were there for.
But won in very dramatic fashion.
Sounds like
goodness.
it. So I guess one final go Bogs, now that I think you and I are both officially done with softball for this year.
Yes. I was offered to play in a game yesterday, and I said no so that I could be a good family man. And I think that's going to be the last one because it's playoffs for the only other league.
It's getting cold. I wore a winter coat today. Ugh.
But it was so good. I have a nice coat that I like. I'm in the sweet spot where I'm doing sweater with a little nice coat over it. I
just feel like we went from summer to winter in like 2 weeks.
It happens. But we're gonna put our hands in the middle and say go Bogs on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Bogs! We did it. 2-time champs. Me and you. 2-time champs with the Bogs. You love to see it.
Yes. I even though I wasn't there, I like to feel like I helped us get there, and that's that ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing. You got us there, baby.